Oh, here's a better, stronger connection.
On the move.
We're good. We're good. Hi.
We're good. On the outdoors. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
So welcome everyone. Yes, my name's Jacqueline Valdez. So welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. And today we're here with Michelle Miller, also known as DJ Rundat.
Hey.
I love it. And then you also have a podcast, right? And it's
Yes.
Royal Queens Rising podcast.
Yes.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my whole life I've loved music lover my whole life. My mom was a deadhead, so it's kind of in my blood. Cool. And you know, I always loved having headphones on when I was younger, and I had a dream to DJ since I was in high school.
Okay.
And finally it happened 11 years ago because my husband had been a DJ for 20 years, so I had the perfect teacher.
Wow.
But before I got into actually DJing, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I started my clothing line, and I started making shirts that said, "I love reggae." And I started selling them at all the concerts and events and festivals because I wanted to stay in that community. Right. And that was my excuse to like be at the concerts without having all the mom guilt.
Right.
And then that eventually led to me DJing, which now it's my main gig, and it's the best thing ever, except during COVID we're not really allowed to DJ out live.
I know.
So we've had to shift. Yeah.
It's such a disappointment. I know, but it's fun, I guess, because we can do like interviews like this, and we can socialize through social media.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more connecting virtually and networking online, and like having the time to slow down and really evaluate everything that we're doing, what's working, what's not. And I'm getting to do these passion projects and focus my energy into things like launching my podcast, which I did 4 weeks ago.
Wow, that's so exciting. Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you.
I love it. So what's your favorite styles of music that you like to DJ, or do you do kind of everything?
I do everything because once I turned it into a business, I had the opportunity to explore more current pop music and go into theme parties with, you know, 80s and 90s and different festivals, different genres, different styles. So my favorite used to be reggae dancehall, which is partly from where I'm from, Northern California. We have the Reggae on the River festival, but that, you know, festivals are no longer happening. Right now I've been loving reggaeton, Afrobeat, pop dance. Really, I love it all. So that's a hard question. Yeah.
I know. I feel you. I actually, when I was younger, I used to dance African dance, and I used to live in Denver, Colorado. So I would go to Reggae on the Rocks, and I would love that. Yeah. Went to New York, came back with my hair completely dreaded, had to pretty much cut my hair off because it was so dreaded. And then I went to LA. And so it's like all these different styles of music too that I do. Yeah.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so you were talking about your podcast. So this features different women in the industry, or explain to the viewers about your podcast.
Yeah, so the Royal Queens Rising podcast is really what I did was I took my online show. So the last 2 years I've been interviewing female DJs on what I called the Queens on Deck show live on the internet. And then I decided I wanted to turn it into an audio podcast and expand. And so it's like, it's business trainings, mixes, lots of interviews of DJs. I'm going to expand into other creatives. Like I have a friend who's like the Spanish voiceover queen for, like, you know, if you call the credit card company and it's like, press numero dos. Yeah. Like that's her. So I just, you know, lots of different people are in my network that I'd love to feature, different coaches. But yeah, it's on all platforms, iTunes, Royal Queens Rising. Super fun sharing our stories and connecting with other, you know, creatives and women.
Yes. I love how inspiring. There's so many inspiring, incredible people out there, and you can learn so much from everyone and just empower each other and change the world.
Exactly. I hope that, you know, that's one of the main goals, is to inspire other female DJs that maybe are scared to put themselves out there, or, you know, they don't know a lot. They're just getting started. Or even for me, every time I interview someone, I'm learning from them. They're learning from me.
That's so true. Yeah. So what words of advice would you give someone who's a newbie into the DJ business and they just don't know how to get in the door, I guess?
Yeah, so really business is about relationships. So networking, making friends in the industry, showing support to them, going out to the club and introduce yourself to the DJ, to the bartender, to the bar owner, to the promoter. Find out who's in charge, and let them know who you are, and then follow them on social media and keep in touch with them. You know, hey, it was nice to meet you. Hey, if you ever need a DJ, I'd love to play your venue. A lot of times for me, it's just about who I know in the industry, and then asking to play, asking to collaborate.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes you don't, because I also dance professionally, and sometimes I realize all you have to do is really ask. And then they're like, oh yeah, I would love to do this with you. I would love to collaborate. Why? I never thought of that. Yeah. So just not to be afraid and to just put yourself out there.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest secrets, is just asking. And my theory and what I teach my clients in my coaching is, like, the more visible you are, the more business you will get. Yeah. So show up on video. Video is the #1 way that they're going to see who you are and catch a vibe and want to work with you or support you.
I love that. That's a really good tip. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what's the most favorite venue that you have DJ'd at? Or gig?
So reggae on the river is just like a huge part of my life, and
it sounds amazing.
That venue, I got to MC at also and DJ, and so that's probably my favorite. Like, that's my people, that's my family, my festival family. So it's like a reunion, every year. But so yeah, that would be my favorite.
Yeah, that's always nice that you can have good music, good tunes, and then have good energy, good people, and then on the river.
Yeah, exactly. And the redwood trees, it's just amazing.
Oh, I bet it's very spiritual.
It is.
Yeah, very cool. So then I was going to ask you, as far as finding your style, how did you find your style? How would someone get a tip to find their style?
Yeah, so I always preach just to be you. Be authentic and be you.
I love it.
And your style develops. Like, we're always growing. You know, I don't like to say we change. I like to say we grow. We just, like, we're still the same person, but we add more to us. And so my musical style has been changing a lot lately, like, over the years. And it's partly shaped by the events that come my way. You know, I get exposed to more electronica because now we have an electronica festival where I live.
Nice.
And so exploring a lot of different remixes, and then just like the Afrobeat, that's more of a newer thing. I mean, yeah, we used to have Fela Kuti come play Reggae on the River, but now there's just so much. And because I've started this movement of interviewing female DJs the last 2 years, I've interviewed 8 females from Zambia, Africa.
Wow.
And I have it on my vision board, South Africa. And like, so when I'm interviewing and they're telling me about different music, then I go check it out, or we share a playlist. So like on iTunes, I have, no, not on iTunes, on Spotify, I have Rundat Afrobeat, or Rundat Latin, Rundat Reggae. Like, I have all the different.
Nice. I will go to your playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also teach dance, so I will have to introduce that to my girls.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Would you give any advice about talking in public, or just DJing and just kind of like getting the vibe going?
Yeah, so so speaking in public and on camera and being like an MC at Reggae on the River and all of that, this has been a journey for me of finding my voice. And I was not confident about communication or writing even, and I wrote a book, and and that started by me filming a digital course, which was so scary. And I read the script, and when I watched it back from 2 years ago, I'm like, oh God, look at me, you know, I've grown so much. I'm gonna redo it and create more. But it's just something that, with practice and by interviewing people, that was how it all started. Was I started interviewing business coaches and coaches and all these amazing women, and I did a series online with them. Wow. And it just, the more and more you do it, the better it gets.
Yeah.
And just be yourself and don't be a perfectionist. Like if I stumble on my word or forget my thought, like I just laugh about it and move on. Just do it.
Yeah. I've had a lot of moments like that lately where it's like loss of thought, or like, you know, I start to get hungry or I start to get tired. I'm like, okay, it's no big deal. This is real.
Yeah.
This is real life.
Yeah, exactly. The other day I was kind of having one of those days. Like I had 2 interviews and I had a gig and I had all this stuff going on and probably had bad sleep and nothing was working. Zoom wasn't working, all this stuff. And I went to the farmer's market and it was close to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm telling the lady and I'm dropping stuff and she goes, it sounds like you might need some food and water. And I was like, you are so right.
That sounds really good right now.
Like, yeah, don't forget those parts.
It's true though. It's kind of like you're just get so busy and so occupied with stuff, and I'm kind of the same way. It's like I'm just running from appointment to interview to dance to stuff that it's like, oh, I really need to eat. I'm getting spacey because I need food.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So you travel then before COVID, of course, doing different gigs and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah. So mostly for gigs though, mostly I've stayed in Northern California where I live. But I was just getting ready to like be ready to travel more, you know, interviewing these DJs for the last 2 years. I've been networking and my son's turning 8 tomorrow. So he's my youngest. So, you know, I was at the age, like just been priming myself for traveling and DJing. And actually I am traveling, on this weekend, I'm driving to Oregon to do a very tiny backyard wedding. One of my clients was supposed to get married locally where I live, and everything got canceled. And so I said, you know, I've been wanting to do the road trip from Northern California to Oregon. I'm going to bring my daughter. We're going to do it.
Oh, nice. I bet it's gorgeous too.
It will be. Yeah. I know it's going to be.
Nice. So then you have your podcast that you're doing, and then with COVID and lockdown, how are you keeping yourself occupied? Just lots of networking and social media.
So yeah, I built a team and we're creating tons of content, putting that online. Our next focus is creating the next digital courses. I've been coaching my mommy DJs during COVID. When COVID first hit, I started a new group coaching program with a couple of my mommy DJs that I had interviewed on my show.
Nice.
And we just supported one another in every way possible, like from anything from like, you know, challenges with our children to like grief that we're no longer able to go out and DJ. Like, are we even going to have jobs? And then doing virtual parties. We've done virtual parties, virtual events. Yeah, so I'm staying plenty busy.
Yeah, that sounds like it. How did you teach yourself? I see someone in the background. Hello. So how did you teach yourself to DJ, or did you take classes, or how did you?
I had my husband.
Okay. Husband.
So I got really lucky, and I'm still learning, honestly. I've been doing it 11 years, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
You know, I get new equipment and learn new tricks, new ways to blend songs. It's a forever learning process. Definitely reaching out to your community, find a couple people. There's also YouTube. A lot of people have learned through YouTube, but luckily I have my husband as my main teacher.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Very cool. Was there anything else that you wanted to let the viewers know before we head out?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, really what I ask my clients and what my business coach had asked me 5 years ago, what do you want and what brings you joy? And really it came down to every time I felt lost in life, like when I was in junior college for 5 years, I was like, well, what do you really want to major in? And I was like, music. Music is what lights me up. Music makes me happy. So I found careers that I could create to be an entrepreneur, to make money while being around music.
Nice.
So do whatever lights you up.
Yes, very exciting. Thank you. That's such a good advice. What are some of the people that you've interviewed for your podcast?
Yeah, so today, DJ Keyliz's interview, Keyliz, dropped on the Royal Queens Rising podcast.
Nice.
One of the first DJ I ever interviewed was DJ Dana from Ohio. She's awesome.
Wow.
And one of the first ones I also DJ'd was DJ Cherish the Love, who is currently on a Netflix series called Joe Coy. It's like a comedy show. So that was really cool. Her story was really inspiring.
Yeah.
Man, I've interviewed 40 DJs, and I have like 40 more lined up on the wait list. Wow. So
that's so awesome.
There's been so many.
Yeah. Is there a place that your Spotify, or is there on your Instagram where we can see all of everyone's work?
Yeah, so on my Instagram, there's a link to the podcast, and then there's lots of stuff on my Instagram, and then I'm on YouTube. Every social media platform, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all of it. TikTok, you can find me at DJ Rundat, and that's my website.
Very cool. I'll have to stalk you.
Check out the website.
I have not done TikTok yet.
I've been slowly doing it. I got over the little fears and all the like overthinking and just started to put some on there. I haven't put anything on. It's like this thing I've been talking about for months and months and months and months and months. It's happening. Just start with it. If you're like hesitant, just start. Put whatever on there. You know, we're working on the strategy for what we're gonna put on there, but just have fun with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to join the TikTok wagon. So then did you find getting into the industry, being a woman, that it was a lot harder?
Not necessarily. I think I got really blessed by just knowing DJs most of my adult life. And in high school, I had neighbors and stuff that were DJs. So I got exposed fairly young. And I haven't had any issues, probably because my husband's like one of the main DJs in our small town.
Nice.
So
nice.
I think it's more. Yeah, I think I have a better advantage almost in a way. Like I'm unique in a way because it is a male dominated industry. So people are fascinated by that.
That's cool. That's nice to know that, that there's doors that are still open and stuff like that. And people are open to it, which is nice. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then when you do DJ, do you do records? What's your style?
So everything's digital for me, and that's probably why it took me so long, because before there was like a lot more equipment and heavy records, and you know, you would have a speaker and you would need an amp. Well, now we have self-powered speakers, so you don't need an amp. Everything's been consolidated into smaller, more simple equipment. So it's digitally. I have a huge digital library.
Oh, wow. Is there a difference with having like the digital compared to the records, or like the sounds or anything like that?
I bet that, you know, definitely you can't really compare. The sound of vinyl is its own unique sound. So there's a little bit of a difference of sound there. There's so many options. I mean, I've met people that just DJ with an iPad alone.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. So anybody that wants to start DJing, I always recommend the first 2 steps is one, start building playlists with like either iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, some music service like that. Start building your playlist. And then number 2, you can get software on your smartphone or your iPad. Usually there's some free ones, some free apps, and just start mixing the music and experimenting.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thanks.
I'll even try that.
Yeah, you are a DJ. All dancers and dance instructors are DJs, whether you realize that or not, because you put together playlists for your classes.
That's true. That's true. And I do have a dance group, so we perform. We were performing in the community, and we were trying to perform out of town, and we were putting on full-hour productions, and we did have a couple DJs at a couple of our events. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, so maybe we'll connect one day.
Yes, I'd love to. I'd love that.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess we will keep in touch, and then I will look for your Spotify, and then we will have to tune into your Instagram and check out your podcast and check out all your awesome interviews that you've done.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for all the tips that you gave for people, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I could talk to you all day. Have fun.
I know, right?
Kid, and happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Take care. Bye.